Welcome to Thieves' Cant, a tabletop gaming podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Shane and Chris White.
Welcome in. Welcome back. It is Monday, January 19th. Welcome to Thieves' Cant. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
Hope you've had a great weekend. Thank you for starting the week with us. Chris, how you doing?
It's Monday.
Yeah.
It's good.
All good things ahead.
That's right.
Thanks for listening, subscribing at thievescantcast. You can email thievescantcast@gmail.com. I got to do a little gaming at the tail end of last week. I ran Draw Steal for a group of high school students.
Oh, really?
Right. So they had a little bit of experience with Dungeons and Dragons. So I introduced them to Draw Steal. Got to play a combat encounter with them. Mm-hmm. Pre-gen characters, using the Delian Tomb pre-gens where it kind of introduces a little bit of that character at a time. It doesn't throw all the rules at them at once. Reviews, like overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, liked it.
From these kiddos for Draw Steal. Comments were made that this is a lot easier to understand. Yeah, is what I heard.
Yeah, I that adventure in particular, the way they formatted it, I think is really smart. Yeah, because it's an introduction to a new system and it eases you in. You know?
So that was cool. And then I also received in the mail a copy of Nimble.
Yeah,
the Nimble RPG, just the core rule book, which is about the size of a little golden book.
It is. That is thin.
I love the fact that it comes with a ribbon bookmark so that, you can mark your place in one of these 5 pages inside and not forget where you are.
Why don't other games have ribbons in the book?
I love it. It's a cool addition.
Yeah, that should be mandatory. Yeah. Like somebody needs to pass a law. You must have ribbons.
Yeah. So those are my personal gaming updates as we kick things off. Hey, coming up in today's show, we've got a new crowdfunding spotlight. We've got some listener feedback and, of course, the latest news. So let's jump in. Here are the headlines. We're going to start with a new Unearthed Arcana. Just dropped on D&D Beyond for Mystic-themed subclasses. Exploring new ways to wield, counter, steal, and bargain with magic. So there are 4, Chris. Yep. You've got a Warrior of the Mystic Arts Monk, Oath of the Spellguard Paladin, the Magic Stealer Rogue, and the Vestige Patron Warlock, which might be my favorite in the list. It's kind of cool. You want to go through these?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you a little more about each of them. This is directly from the D&D Beyond website. So you've got the Warrior of the Mystic Arts Monk, combining spell casting with martial arts in several ways. The character can expend focus points to regain spell slots or vice versa. As they advance in level, they combine attacks and spell casting in a single action. Uses wisdom as its spell casting ability, and its spells come from the Sorcerer spell list.
Interesting.
The Oath of the Spellguard Paladin, named for the Spellguard shield in the DMG, protects their allies while wielding specialized abilities to defeat spellcasting enemies. So kind of like a mage hunter, almost? I don't know. Yeah. When a nearby enemy begins to cast a spell, the Paladin responds with the iconic Spellguard strike, inflicting damage, but maybe even negating the spell as it's being cast. So dealing damage and potentially just counterspell.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They get access to lots of spells that frustrate spellcasters, like Dispel Magic, See Invisibility, Silence. They have an aura of protection that simultaneously helps allies maintain their spells, while at higher levels defending them against spells and spell attacks. So
not necessarily an offensive powerhouse, but hey, if you can shut down the enemy spellcasting, that's not nothing.
The best offense is a good defense.
I've heard that.
Yeah. All right, the Magic Stealer Rogue, inspired by, which is the lamest name of these 4.
That is pretty lame.
I mean, Warrior of the Mystic Arts, Oath of the Spellguard, Vestige Patron, and you couldn't come up with something better than Magic Stealer?
What does What does a rogue do? They steal.
Okay.
But this one steals magic. Yeah, that is pretty weak.
But inspired by magic-stealing rogues from previous versions of the game, it absorbs spells to empower its sneak attack, can even redirect magical power to an ally, allowing that ally to recover spell slots. As they advance in level, they get new uses of Cunning Strike that steal resistance, disrupt spells, make the target vulnerable to spells, and because the magic stealer is bound to have many spellcasting enemies. Well, this rogue can cast non-detection to slip past divinations and magical wards.
Okay, that sounds fun.
So the delivery is better than the setup?
Yeah, so when I'm looking at this versus Arcane Trickster, this sounds more like, rather than I'm a spellcaster who's also a rogue, this is more of a I'm a spellcaster who can get past any defenses. Like, so, I'm ready for the magical defenses.
Okay.
Whatever.
We round things out with a look at the Vestige Patron. This is inspired by the Binder, a class from a previous D&D edition that influenced the Warlock class. A vestige is all that remains of a dying or forgotten god who lends power to the Warlock in exchange for a chance to grow in power and live again. The vestige accompanies the Warlock on their adventures, and as the Warlock advances in level, the vestige grows in power, protecting the Warlock and their allies and eventually adopting whatever their final form is, I guess, some new terrifying shape. I love the flavor of this one.
The flavor is very interesting. Yeah, forgotten god. Yeah, interesting.
And they've got some husk
that
they're just walking around in with you.
Yeah, I definitely have to read more into the mechanics of this to understand how it works.
Yeah, I have not delved into the mechanics at all.
But as far as the concept, I like it.
Concept's fun.
That's pretty neat.
So if you happen to dig into the mechanics and you have feedback that you want to give WotC, that survey opens on January 22nd. And there is a link to that Unearthed Arcana in the show notes.
Yeah, my only question would be, is there more coming? Where's the ranger? Where's the barbarian? Or do they feel like they're covered? Or because it seems like we're more like martial characters with some magical flavor.
Right. Well, I mean, the ranger has gotten so much love over the years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the ranger definitely couldn't use anything, right?
I can't answer that question. I'm also not sure, like, what the potential product this could be tied to might be. I mean, whenever we got the Totally Not Dark Sun playtest, it was pretty clear where they were going with it.
Right.
But this one, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure. So maybe those classes will be covered in a future release.
Right. Could be.
All right. Let's move on. Take a look at InWorld's top 10 most anticipated games of 2026. InWorld just dropped this Friday of last week with nearly 10,000 votes total. A very active community over there, obviously, and kind of a great way to get a read on what a lot of people are expecting here in 2026 or what they're excited about. So an interesting note here from those 10,000 votes, the number one most anticipated game on this list, which we'll get to, received 3 times the votes that number 2 on the list did. So by a wide margin, number 1 was the overall pick. But let's start with number 10, which is Twilight Sword from Two Little Mice and Free League. This is a game that's even visually looks like it's inspired by games like The Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy, some of your JRPGs. As far as mechanics go, I think it's a D12 system. The particulars I'm unaware of. Mm-hmm. Number 9 on the list, Old School Essentials 2026 update from Necrotic Gnome. Light rules based on early D&D, a new addition for the game with updated art. Mm-hmm. Number 8, Discworld Adventures in Ankh-Morpork from Modifius. Of course, based on Terry Pratchett's novels. This was on last year's chart as well. And it just didn't make it out in 2025. So here it is again. You see that from time to time. A game will make it on the list multiple years. This one made like nearly $3 million on Kickstarter. So we've got a lot of people waiting.
There's some interest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 7, also based on some novels. The Black Company from Arc Dream Publishing, based on Glenn Cook's novels. Morally gray characters, often a military focus. This is the second Black Company game. Green Ronin published one back in the early 2000s, I believe.
Okay.
Number 6, The Broken Empires from Evil Baby Entertainment. This is how it's described, Chris. A sim-light D100 skills-based tabletop RPG.
Okay.
You want me to say that again?
Yeah.
Sim-light D100 skills-based. No stats, classes, or levels.
Okay, so it's all about what you pick.
Yeah, it's just skills.
Kind of like the OG Star Wars game was like that. The skills you chose defined your character.
Was that the West End games, Star Wars? Was it like all D6s?
No, I believe this was a D100 system. Long time ago. I could be wrong. Galaxy far, far away. No, it's fun. You can make whatever combination you prefer, so there's a lot of freedom there.
Number 5 on the list is Ars Magica Definitive Edition from Atlas Games. Players take on the roles of wizards and their companions. This is a deluxe expanded version of the game's 5th edition. Number 4 is Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 5th Edition from Cubicle 7. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay is going to celebrate its 40th anniversary, so this is kind of their big release for the 40th anniversary. It is backwards compatible with all previous editions.
Yeah, 40th anniversary. Congratulations.
Kudos to Warhammer. Number 3 is Mistborn from Brotherwise Games. This was originally a stretch goal for the Cosmere RPG. So it is a separate game with 3 hardcover books containing lore, rules, and an adventure, of course, based on the Brandon Sanderson novels. At number 2, the Invincible superhero role-playing game from Free League. It's based on the comic book series from Robert Kirkman, uses the Year Zero engine. A lot of folks waiting for that one, but 3 times as many are waiting for number 1. Mm-hmm. Deathbringer, Roll for Combat, Dungeon Craft. This is from Dan DeFazio, a.k.a. Professor DM. Mm-hmm. I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar.
I've watched several of his videos.
Okay. This looks like another kind of old school clone.
Yeah.
Likely rules light. I don't know much about the system. Here's the official blurb. As seen on the Dungeon Craft YouTube channel, Deathbringer RPG is a grimdark fantasy rules kit compatible with 5e and any OSR retro clone. This trifold rule set contains all you need for character creation, combat, and spellcasting. The unique Deathbringer dice mechanic replaces traditional features, feats, and skills with a fast, flexible alternative. Get ready for breakneck, bone-crunching, skull-smashing action with Deathbringer. Sounds cool.
Yeah. He has opinions. I agree with some of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but definitely there's a lot of people who are interested in it.
Clearly, this is someone with a pretty large following.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how sometimes you make it to number 1 on a list like this.
Mm-hmm. Activate
the minions.
I don't know a lot of the details about the game, but I have an idea of what it'll be like based on the viewing, and I think it's probably fun. I mean, he's got a pretty good grasp of gaming in general.
So again, that's the top 10 from InWorld, the top 10 most anticipated of 2026. Chris, any of these that stand out to you? Are you looking forward to grabbing any of these? Or
Deathbreaker's the only one I'm really familiar with at all, but always love superhero games. Invincible is interesting.
I would love to see how the Year Zero engine goes along with superhero role-playing. I think that could be fun. Mm-hmm. I've always been Warhammer curious, so maybe 5th edition is a good time to jump in on that. I don't know. Yeah. And then the Black Company.
Yeah, I was going to say that one also.
I'd be interested in that one. Yeah. So those might be the 3 that I would be most excited to take a look at.
Yeah.
Well, those are this week's headlines. Let's jump over to crowdfunding. All right, Chris, get set for Starbeards. Starbeards for Savage Worlds from Fainting Goat Games. Here's the pitch. Deep in the galactic frontier, where asteroid mines are rich, corporations are ruthless, and monsters crawl from the darkest caves, one elite unit handles the galaxy's dirtiest jobs. The Dwarven Assault, Mining, Neutralization, and Interception Teams, or as they're better known, Damn It.
Okay.
Starbeards is a setting for Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. You and your crew of beer-loving, hammer-wielding space dwarves will tackle everything from haunted dig sites and pirate attacks to cult rituals and cosmic horrors. It's a game of camaraderie, fast action, hard choices, and rolling with whatever chaos the galaxy throws your way while keeping your beard intact. Yeah, space dwarves.
That's what it's all about. I like it.
I love the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think Savage Worlds is a perfect fit for a game like this.
Yeah.
So this is funding on BackerKit for, I think, another 25 days, if my count is correct. If you're a Savage Worlds fan and you want to play a sci-fi game with some familiar fantasy elements, this could be fun. Space dwarves.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
I do too. If you're tired of digging too greedily in Middle Earth,
right?
Why not go to Neptune?
I want to read this acronym again for Damn It. That's Dwarven Assault, Mining, Neutralization, and Interception Teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of lets you know a little bit of the flavor right there, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Sounds like a good time.
So that's our crowdfunding spotlight this week. One more stop, just a wee bit of listener feedback. We had a great chat last week, Chris, about good habits that tabletop RPG players can develop. Mm-hmm. Good habits to put into practice. And one of those was know the rules, at least the ones that apply to your character. Like, be familiar with your character mechanics. Grom Molotok has weighed in.
He says, all good advice, but in my current circumstances, I can't expect the players to know the rules. No regular group.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of one-shots at my FLGS instead. I'm consciously leaning into my personal favorites rather than the most popular TTRPGs. So I have to work in terms of cheat sheets and the like. When it comes to knowing all the spells, a lot of game systems have spell/power cards you can use. I rely on them heavily for Pathfinder and D&D when I do play those. Flipping through a small handful beats using the whole book by a long shot.
All right. Thanks to Grom Molotok. Good points there, right? Yeah, and it's fair. If you're running in a public space at a game store and, there could be turnover week to week.
Right.
In the members of your table, you can't expect everybody to know all the rules of the system that you're running. So he makes a great recommendation here of cheat sheets, having those handouts readily available. And then the tip on the spell cards or power cards in place of flipping through the book. I mean, I've done this if I'm running a spellcaster, maybe put things on an index card. I think I'm beyond help, but that's a great tip for those who want to utilize them. Absolutely.
It is really a completely different circumstance to be somebody running a regular game with regular players versus what Grom's talking about here. So, absolutely right. He's using all the tools available to streamline things. So I think it's great.
Grom, thanks again. It makes me consider this week's question of the week. I want to throw it out now because we're going to take that same topic, those 5 good habits for players. Yeah. We want to apply those to the GM side of things. Mm-hmm. We're going to get to that topic later in the week. That looks like a Thursday discussion, I think. Okay. So our question: what are 5 good game master habits? Email thievescantcast@gmail.com or drop your thoughts in the comments below. With that, we are bringing this episode to a close. Tomorrow we're back, Chris. Roll that knowledge check. It's a Lore Vault episode. Oh, yeah. Do you want to tease us with what the lore might be, or should we make it a surprise?
Well, it's cold outside, but the blood flows warm. Is that weird? I don't know.
It is, but it works. We'll leave it at that. Find out more in tomorrow's Lore Vault episode. Until then, it's been Thieves Cant. I'm Jeremy Shane.
And I'm Chris White.
We'll see you tomorrow. So long.
Thank you for listening to Thieves Cant. Email thievescantcast@gmail.com.